You can tell a lot of the time how the guy walks in, what he needs in his program, just from walking in.
Yeah.
Looking at his gait, looking at his static posture, looking at his arm extension and all that kind of stuff.
May I have your attention, please?
Give me my heater.
Now listening to Clear the Mechanism.
The Robby Row Show.
The Robby Row Show.
Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy, Robbie Rowland, and you're listening to episode 49 of the Robby Row Show. Today I got DJ Edwards in-house podcast. First time using the new little portable recorder thing that I got. Finally figured out how to do dual micage out of the portable recorder. Been just grinding in the editing room, if you will, anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about that. No worries. So we actually recorded this together at Push Performance, the place that he owns and operates, a place that I've been training out of. You guys that follow me on Instagram probably have seen a lot of footage of the specific training facility, which is absolutely dope. Thanks for DJ for letting me train in there. So we recorded for quite a bit of time, but we're going to break this up into two parts. So this is going to be part one that you're listening to. So it's technically episode 49.1. And we basically hammer out DJ's background, kind of what he did in his life and how he got to the point that he's at today, his baseball background and how that helps him with dealing with baseball players. And today's day and age, how he, worked at 24 Hour Fitness as a personal trainer and hated that, wanted to go off on his own, a couple bad business decisions that he's made. And, at the end of the show, we talk about the high level of importance when we talk regarding assessments and individualizing programs for certain people, especially baseball players. This is going to be a good podcast if you're in the business of learning more about training, even like owning a business, running a training facility. Baseball player being trained by someone that knows, can relate in that regard. So thanks for DJ for coming on. I know it's taken a while, but hey, we got it done. So at this time, I want to thank a sponsor. I talk about it a little bit in the show. I want to talk about Aura Ring. I know for most of you guys that follow me on Instagram have seen my post on my story regarding a lot of data that I'm posting about in terms of my recovery, my sleep, my activity, my readiness, and all that's coming from this little ring that I put on my middle or index finger. And it's pretty cool, man. I'm such a data-driven guy, and I love waking up in the morning, syncing it to my phone, opening that app, and seeing okay, it says that I'm a 82 on readiness today. Let's go. Or hey, I'm a 43 on readiness today. I didn't sleep well yesterday, and and my training level was super high, so maybe I should take it easy. So if you're into that stuff, man, this thing is super cool. I use this, and I also use the Fitbit, but Aura Ring is a sponsor of the show. They sponsor me. So what I can do for you guys, if you are interested, is save you $50 if you're interested in purchasing the ring. You go to auraring.com, OuraRing.com, and then at checkout, you just type in a discount code Robby Row 12. That's ROBBY ROW 12. Save you $50 on that. It's definitely cool, man. I encourage anyone who's into tracking and into really optimizing in their daily life. Go ahead and get it, man. It's pretty cool, especially with the holidays coming up. Get it for someone that you love. So that's it. I appreciate you all for tuning into another episode. Appreciate all you guys' support. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a review if you want. You can follow me on Instagram, Robby Row 12, Twitter, Robby Row _12. But enough of me. Let's get to DJ's Edwards podcast. Here we go, guys. Thanks for all for tuning in. See ya. 2, 1. We are freaking live, dude. Let's go. It's working.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. For the listeners, I smell. Yeah, I do. So for the listeners chiming in, I want to give you an overlay of the setup.
I spilled coffee all over my
Oh my gosh.
on Instagram Live.
Dude, you are nervous.
Super nervous.
Okay, so the listeners, you guys, this is the first ever in-person. It's not the first ever in-person, but it's the first ever in-person with a Zoom H1N handy recorder with like mics and freaking wires going everywhere. This is the first one of that. So DJ Edwards, you're episode 49, dude.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing today?
Great, man. Thank you for having me.
No, hey, thank you. Shoot, man. Thanks for everything you've
About
done.
time.
Yeah, thanks for everything you've done for me. I can't wait to post this and then hear all the comments about, wow, you finally had him on.
Yeah, I was finally worthy.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I already told you before we started recording, and we are Instagram Live for those of you who want to tune into a future Instagram Live podcast sesh. Robby Row 12, Robby with a Y. DJ, what's your Instagram?
DJ_Edwards9.
Are we talking loud enough?
Can you hear me, Tanner?
I feel like I'm always talking loud though.
Yeah, you do.
Because like my left side, because it gives like a bar as far as like how loud you're talking, and mine goes like all the way to the end, and yours is like halfway.
That's
all right.
I'm soft spoken.
So we already said we try to think of a baseball player with number 49. We couldn't. I mean, at least I can't.
T Smith Fitness 34 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Said it was Antonio Sensatella. I don't know if that's right.
If you can spell Sensatella, that's like major props.
It's impressive.
Yeah. So, another. I need to give you guys, for the listeners that are tuning in, another layout. We are in Push Performance, in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So that's a great segue as far as DJ. Why don't you go ahead and explain how you got into the realm that you're in right now in strength and conditioning?
Yeah, so what Push Performance is, we're a baseball strength and conditioning facility in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. We work with guys from all over the nation. Guys fly in, we go to them. How I got here is play baseball, Division II level at Metro State.
Where's that?
Downtown Denver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But you're from
California.
You're from the Bay, right?
From the Bay Area, yeah, man.
Oh shoot. Well, let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
How the heck did you get here?
Family moved here.
Okay.
Right before high school.
Okay. So you're old enough to know.
I'm old enough.
What the heck was going on?
Yep.
You did that? Were you upset?
Slightly, yes. I was actually living in Santa Cruz, Watsonville area.
Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was literally right down the street from there.
So you had no friends, and
nope,
then
zero.
You left, and it wasn't like you were leaving anyone.
Yeah. I was no friends.
Okay. So you came out here.
Yep.
And you were right before high school, so you went all 4 years of high school here
Yep.
and college here.
Yep.
And you're still here.
Yep.
So it's safe to say you like it more in California?
I do. Yeah, it's awesome.
Interesting.
Here. Yeah. Can't complain. Lots of sunshine.
Yeah. Well, easy. It's like 30 degrees outside.
No, it's like 60 today.
I got in my car this morning, it was 23.
This is going to be 60 degrees today, though.
Was it cold yesterday?
What was the high yesterday? 58?
I don't know. I was in my room all day yesterday.
It was warm. It was warm yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been warm all week.
Yeah. I mean, it looked beautiful yesterday. Yeah. We're going to dive down so many rabbit holes. I'm excited. I love these in-person podcasts because we're just like, boom, boom. And I don't have to worry about like interrupting you because it's Skype.
Swills, you back me up. There's more sun here than in California. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Close.
We got a disagreement.
Close.
For sure.
Close.
We have 3 other people in the studio with us. Should we call them like our podcast managers? Like they're producer.
Tanner Smith is a producer.
Yeah, we got a producer. We got a manager.
Gus might show up with the
He's
shirt
the model.
off. Gus will show up 100% with the shirt off today.
He just models his. I bet these listeners are like, "What the heck is going on? This is nothing like a typical Robby Row Show pod." I love it though, right? I mean, if I run out of battery and we just keep going, we'll just who cares? Okay, so back to you, dude. So you come out here, you play college ball. Was it always an aspiration for you to get into the strength and conditioning world, or were you kind of dead set on?
I actually started with a degree in exercise. Well, actually, it would be sports industry operations. So, as any athlete would be, hey guys, it would be sports management, typical athlete degree, right? Super easy.
Yeah.
Kind of realized that was not what I wanted to do at all.
Yeah. Was it something in the schooling that you just hated, or was it just like
everything? When I started having to take law classes, it was not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I started realizing like what made my career a little bit better, and that was getting stronger as a player.
Were you a strong like kid growing up?
No, I graduated high school at 149 pounds.
Same height?
Yeah, same height.
Really?
I haven't grown.
I haven't grown since 8th grade, dude.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Well, my beard has grown. My hair on the top of my head left.
It's epic.
Okay, so then you go into exercise science?
So, yeah, I changed my degree as a sophomore, maybe junior.
In college?
In college, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't have degrees in high school.
Yeah, changed my degree. Did some summer classes. My senior summer.
Did you play summer baseball?
I did. I played locally. What year was that? My sophomore year.
What position were you?
Middle infield.
See, I actually don't know this part about you, so I'm actually genuinely intrigued.
Pretty quiet.
Yeah. I mean, you don't. Were you good?
No.
You weren't good.
No.
I'm actually happy that you're the guy that can be like, I wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, I was okay, but it wasn't.
Besides the guy at the bar at Applebee's during happy hour, that's like.
I mean, I was all state in Colorado. I don't know how much that means.
Hold on, you were what?
All state at a high school.
Oh.
Preseason.
But I hear Colorado doesn't have any talent.
That's not true at all. All of our guys in this gym throw harder than you.
Yeah. Well, right now. Okay. And then you change your degree, exercise science. Do you love it? Like you fall in love with it?
Yeah. Typical answer, I didn't learn much in school, right?
Yeah. In college?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Basic
Why was
anatomy.
That, you think?
Maybe the application wasn't there.
You just had no it.
Yeah. So it was the application. How am I going to apply this, right? Like, what do I care about cells? What do I care about, why do I care about those things, right?
Right.
But learning what movement truly looks like and why movement looks the way it does while you're coaching is where you learn.
Right.
And then, getting yourself in a good network of guys where you can bounce ideas off of each other, and that's when you learn then you can apply your knowledge that you learn. Versus school is like read a textbook, regurgitate that textbook.
Yeah.
Show me where the subscap is on this cadaver.
Yeah.
Right.
Big words.
Yeah.
Dope.
So
did that help your baseball career at all? Like when you were starting to delve into that whole.
It made me realize a lot of this stuff. Like this is mid 2000s, early 2000 or late 2000s. Excuse me.
Right.
That my ATC, if I had an injury, that was the way they did it. It was like, this doesn't really work. Like doing the sleeper stretch all the time for an impingement issue I had my senior year.
Yeah.
Right? It never got better.
Right.
Doing certain exercises that made our guys injured versus keeping them on the field.
Did you see that a lot, though, with what you were learning via textbooks in college compared to, what you kind of just was common sense to you within the baseball realm? Or was it, everything pretty much checked out? Because I know, when you dive into a textbook, there's a lot of things that from your personal experience, you're like, that doesn't make sense. That's not right.
Yeah, there's everything that doesn't make sense at all, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's different. Every human body's made differently.
Yeah.
Every athlete's different. Their sports demands are different. Everybody throws a baseball differently, even though they're throwing the baseball. Right?
Yeah.
So their demands, deficiencies, all those kind of things are different, and
all play into it, though.
All play into it 100%. And there's always a why. There's always a depends. It's not. That's never,
some foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's never. It's never certain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So once you dive into the exercise science realm, what point did you go okay, my baseball career is probably going to be over here in a few years. Now what? What was that next step for you?
My buddy called me and he goes,
so you
hey,
do have friends?
I do. I have not anymore. Honestly, no friends. My buddy called me and said, hey, you want to move to Vail, Colorado? I was like, heck yeah, I'll move to Vail, Colorado.
Yeah.
So I moved to Vail for a year, and right before I moved to Vail, I met my girlfriend. Now it's my wife.
Baby mama.
Yep. Yeah. She is my baby mom. I have 2 kids.
That's almost 3.
I know. You.
What? I'm allergic.
So, I moved to Vail. I've done this my
How old were you when you moved? Right out of college?
20. No, I played baseball for a year after. 23, 24.
Well, you played baseball after college?
I played a year up in Canada.
Oh, Canada, eh?
Yeah, okay.
Is it true that they're never mad? They're just nice?
Oh, yeah.
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 It was fun.
Are you just saying that because we're on the show and I have a lot of Canadian followers?
No. I loved it there.
I was listening to a podcast last night, and and they were talking about Canada. It was
Really?
one of the actors that plays in a lot of TV shows.
Okay.
They do a lot of filming in Vancouver, and that was like one of the topics that got brought up was just like everyone's nice.
Yeah, they are. True
Which is crazy.
story.
And then you come
True
to Colorado
story.
and everyone's just bleh.
Or whatever. So I moved to Vail. My buddy, my best friend from high school, called me. He just got done playing with the Royals.
Okay.
He just got released. Actually, it's Gosman's brother.
Okay.
We moved to Vail together, and my wife, a year in, was like, "What are you doing with your life? What are you going to do?" I was like, "I don't know. I want to train people because I have a degree."
Does she have a vision in her life? And
She has like 3 degrees. And
oh my gosh.
Integrated physiology.
Does it suck being like the dumber one in the relationship?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's always right.
But then you're like, I can do 20
I know she's
push-ups.
probably not going to listen to this, but she's always right. So
We're going to just play it like on a road trip with her, just like throw it on.
probably. So I tell her to listen to it. I mean, I've been on this is like my 5th podcast the last couple of months. She has listened to 0. So I know
Really?
she's, yeah.
She's like very supportive.
Yeah.
Check.
Thanks, babe.
Okay, so you moved to Vail.
Yep.
And like you knew full-heartedly, like you were like, okay, this is what the move's going to look like.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to be doing, and you were like, let's go.
Yeah, I moved to Vail.
Yeah.
She drove up, a couple days a week.
Yeah.
Hung out with me.
What is the
snowboarding.
hour differently? Like how many hours away is it from where you were at? Where she's at?
I think it's 3 hours,
Okay,
2.5 hours, 3 hours.
I don't know my geography.
I mean, tons of snow. Like I was up in Vail last weekend. We had 3 feet of snow.
I drove through Vail on the way here.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Higher elevation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So about a year in, she's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I don't know. I want to be a trainer, be a coach, something like that." Didn't have baseball on my mind at all.
Wow.
No, it's completely checked out with baseball.
So it wasn't like I want to train baseball players at that
Not
point.
at all.
Gotcha.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And I started training at a 24-hour fitness actually.
You were one of those
Yeah,
guys.
I was one of those guys.
24 is weird because they demand your fingerprint when you come in.
It was the worst experience I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
It was horrible.
They're a sponsor of this show. I'm just kidding.
Not for the people aspect.
You weren't like
the
an independent trainer, right? You
Nope.
were under like a
Yeah,
bunch of
so-
regulations through 24.
I mean, I had to work a certain amount of hours, even if I didn't have, clients on the schedule. I had to find my own clients, even though.
It's a grind, right?
Yeah, and I had to find my own clients
Yeah.
within the limited membership base,
What do you mean?
right? So I can market.
Just members?
Yes, I can market
Yeah.
to guys now from all over the world.
Yeah.
They don't need a membership, but they had to have a membership at 24-hour fitness, right?
Right.
Some of the other
And that's
trainers.
not cheap, dude.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
And some of the other trainers we worked with were just slaps, right? They were.
Well, because you have to have a piece of paper, right?
Yes,
And then you
it's a
can
joke.
get hired.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to badmouth anybody.
No,
but
but that's the reality of the situation.
But it made it's part of me who I am now, right? I realized what I don't want to be,
Right.
who I don't want to be as a boss or a manager or as an owner or whatever it is the way I was micromanaged by them, right?
Right.
So
How long did you work there?
A little under a year.
Okay. So a decent amount.
Yeah, so I built a clientele, left, rented some space at a small studio, probably the size of these 2 offices right here. Probably.
Still in Vail?
No, I was in Denver,
okay.
Aurora, Colorado.
It's a hard word to say.
Aurora.
Aurora.
So, the facility I was renting space from was no bigger than the 2 offices right behind you. Probably no bigger than.
And you were
1,000
trying to
square
get like
feet.
clients out of there and like train.
Oh, I mean, I
train them out of
I
there?
rehabbed Demarius Thomas, his Achilles out of
I don't know
there.
who that is.
He's a wide receiver for the Texans now. He's the Broncos. Kevin, we're training Kevin out of there. A couple second rounders out of there.
How do you? So I'm confused now. So like you go from 24 where you're building up in-house clientele to
Training
there.
old people all the time.
Yeah, right. So now you're like independent.
Yep.
Out of your own little spot. So
Yep.
how do you get clientele in that regard?
I worked really hard. When I wasn't training, I was out prospecting, marketing,
Yeah.
writing stuff,
Yeah.
emailing people, building a network.
It's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Like
absolutely.
that's something that like people don't know.
Absolutely.
That like, especially in the strength and conditioning industry too, is like
Yep.
you got to like show, okay, what makes DJ Edwards different than every other strength and conditioning guy in the world?
Not much.
Well, it's like but you know what I mean? Though? Like
Yeah.
you have to be like, look, like this is, this is why you should come train with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is why you should,
Yep. I mean, I honestly just got really lucky. I hit up Demarius on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Slid in the D's.
Yep. So I got a couple DM. I hit guys. I still do that to this day. I just reach out to guys, see what they're doing for the off season.
Right. Why wouldn't you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Friendly guy.
Yeah. So, build a pretty good clientele. I had probably 3 pro guys.
Yeah.
Baseball guys, a couple of football guys. Out of there, and then I had a bunch of adults.
Yeah.
And then my buddy I played with ended up introducing me to this guy who wanted to open a gym. So I was like, yeah, I'll open the gym with you.
That same buddy that got you out here?
No, different guy. So I ended up opening a gym with this guy. Didn't barely know him, obviously. Worst decision I've ever made.
Really?
Hands down.
Can you elaborate on why?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to talk about this.
Do you know how to spell clientele?
No. C-L-I.
I really don't. I'm like sitting here, I'm like literally trying to write it, and I don't know how to spell it. We'll fact check later.
So, he's like, hey, we'll open a facility, yada, yada, yada. It's probably 3,000 square feet, so it was a big jump from where I was.
Yeah. Where's this?
Down the street from where it was.
Okay.
So, 5 months in, like we did everything on Craigslist, and it was, this guy had this reputable business up north, and made all this money and blah blah blah, shiny object thing, right?
Right.
So I opened the facility with them, and he's trying to hook up with all these girls and train all the cheerleaders in town.
Oh wow.
All this stuff, and I swear this place we could get MRSA there. Like we just get flesh bacteria, just nastiness out of there because it was not.
So it's the place to go.
It was, if you want MRSA and hook up with cheerleaders, sure. Sounds like Tanner.
He's like, I got a membership there.
It was a great start, right? It kind of introduced me to ownership, introduced me to that kind of stuff, and
you're still young at that point, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. This is now it'll be 5 years ago because our lease is up in this facility. But so with him, kind of didn't see eye to eye. He wasn't letting me build the culture that I wanted to help build. Right. So I'd had my lawyer draft something up saying I'm out of the partnership and all this stuff.
Yeah, because you probably signed your soul away.
Exactly. So he ended up stealing all my money I invested in the business, all my equipment, and so I lost probably $80,000.
Yeah.
Just right there.
That's so tough.
Yeah. So and then
what's the one thing you took away from that? What'd you learn?
I honestly that made us who we are now. I would not trade that for anything.
Right.
I love it. Like,
trade it for $80,000.
It'd be nice. But I learned a lot. I'm learning every day still, obviously, on operations, ownership.
Yeah.
And just not over managing, not
micromanaging.
Yeah, and just not letting guy. If guy wants to do something, I'm like, let him do it, and as long as it's going to benefit
or
him.
understand why he's doing it first.
Exactly.
This is like I'm in the best of both worlds right now because I'm doing one thing I love, which is podcasting with you, and then right behind you, Gus is doing push-ups, and it's like I have the perfect. This is like the perfect setup.
Yeah.
We should do this every day I come in.
Let's do it.
As long as Gus is right behind you doing push-ups. All right, so talk about push, dude. Like, how'd that come to be? Like, after that experience, were you like, F this, I'm going on my own, like I'm doing it my way?
Yeah, so that's why I drafted that contract up. I was like, all right, I'm going to do this on my own.
Yeah.
And I had a adult client, who worked for Miller Coors. He's a marketing guy. So he blasted out this marketing platform of logos, brand names, all these different things to build a business, help me build a brand for my business.
Dude,
so
that's great.
I got really hooked up there. It's like he professional.
Dude, it's all about who you know in this life.
Exactly.
Like literally that Step Brothers quote.
Yep.
It's all about who you know.
Yep.
So, it's so true.
Yep. So he hooked it up pretty good there.
Yeah. Probably kind of gave you an idea of what that looked like.
Well, no, he made us a logo.
Yeah.
He
is it the same logo you wear?
We kind of.
Yeah.
We altered it a little bit.
Right.
Always changing, but the brand name, 80% of the people voted on Push Performance because it rolled off the tongue well.
Yeah.
It's not a baseball name at all.
Yeah.
You don't want to push in your swing. You don't want to push when you throw.
But you want to push the limits.
You want to push the limits.
It's P squared.
Yeah. There you go.
That's dope.
So there's other places that have baseball in them, but whatever. We have, other clientele as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have like non-baseball players that come in here, though.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to segregate it to like one specific category, right? Because you want to be like broad.
Not initially, we don't. Yeah. That's one thing I learned. You want a broad spectrum of who you can train, who you can work with. Be really good at multiple things. Yeah. And then find your niche later on. Yeah. Essentially, that's kind of what saved our business, is finding that niche in baseball. Because everywhere you look in this area, there's sports performance facilities left and right of you. Yeah.
It's everywhere now. It's 2018. Exactly. Like everyone's doing specific training.
Exactly. So. But we're identified now as the baseball gym. Yeah. Right. Our new facility is actually being called the baseball gym.
Why don't you get a baseball bat in your logo?
I do right here.
Is that a bat?
It's a bat.
Oh crap!
A bat and a weight.
I thought it was a dowel.
Nope. Look behind you.
I can't. Too far.
The microphone stuck to my chest.
I don't want to get my chest hair.
So opened this facility. Got myself.
What year was that?
5 years ago in May.
2013.
Yep. So, kind of got a little deep in our lease here because the cost of it.
Sure.
I was kind of stuck. I'm like,
you're not in the cheap part of the world either.
No, definitely not. Yeah. So, we got to make it work, right? That was my only way. Like, right. I'm signing up for this lease. If not, I'm losing my house, losing losing everything I own.
You're going all in.
This is how I feed my family.
What's your wife saying at this time? Was she your wife at that point?
Yeah, she was. Yep.
What's she saying?
Supporting it 100%.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
You found.
Obviously, she stresses, right?
Well, everyone's.
We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. Blah blah blah. Yeah. But that's never been a thought in my mind. So, I signed on for a hefty lease and didn't even look at the numbers and just wanted to make it work. And, that's when I would really hit the ground running and marketing and, tell our coaches now still, if we're the best at what we do, nobody's going to compare to us, honestly.
Right.
So.
Right. Did you do that all on your own?
What's that?
Push. Open it up.
Yep.
You didn't have any partners or anything?
All alone.
Dang. It was this location?
This location's our first location, yes, sir.
Yeah. What made you choose Highlands Ranch? It's got to be like the most expensive area.
It's terrible.
Right?
It sucks. But yeah, you're right. It's very expensive.
Right.
I mean, our new facility is almost triple the size for less.
Less? Really?
Less rate, yeah.
Why didn't you just do that to begin with? Where's your new facility?
Because I didn't learn anything. I didn't know better.
I was smart once.
Yeah, right?
I did an SAT.
Jeez. What did you get on the SAT?
I had to take it twice. Vandy made me take it twice.
Oh, talking about Vandy?
Yeah. Oh. I had a name drop.
You're bad. So he's smart.
Tanner, we got any questions coming in over there? Or is everyone quiet? Quiet. Yeah, it's what, is it 10 a.m.? Yeah. Anyways. Cool, man. Well, now we got your background covered.
For the most part, yeah.
What would you say you've learned? What was the one thing that you've learned just in the 5 years that you've have Push?
Business-wise?
Well, just anything. Business.
I've learned so much.
Strength training, baseball orientation, all that.
When we started in here, we didn't have gym flooring.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of this. We had concrete.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of clients when you first started?
No, I had maybe 10.
Yeah.
Maybe 12.
Yeah. All baseball players?
No.
Yeah.
No, we trained. I mean, I used to have more football players than baseball players.
Yeah. Do you still have football players?
No. A few, but not very many.
How many pro guys do you have coming here?
I think this off season we're at 26.
Is that the most you've ever had in an off season?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So let's talk about that, dude. Let's talk about creating a culture within that, because obviously I got a lot of my listeners are kind of always into that.
Well, from an outsider, let's talk about it. I mean, what do you think of our culture?
It's dope.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a very important thing to understand, that you need to continuously challenge yourself as an individual and as an athlete.
Yep.
And because coming from a guy that I literally I'm so stubborn when I train. I'm I know everything.
Yep.
I'm fine on my own. I don't want to pay and all this stuff. I'll just do it on my own. My first 2 off seasons, I trained in my backyard. I was never a big I need to be strong kind of guy to throw a baseball hard and be healthy. Because when I got drafted at 18, I was 6'5", 180. Strong fuzz.
Yep.
So I was like, I didn't put too much weight into that. So I didn't put too much stock into that. And then I got really obsessed and like addicted. You know how it is. You get like addicted to the training, and I did that. And but still, it was like in my local gym. I'm from a small town, so you have one gym to choose from, and you're just like, I'll do it all on my own, and which is fine, right? But I think just the culture that you can create in a specific, like a baseball specific place like this, it just brings out a different animal in an athlete.
Absolutely.
And that's the animal that comes out when you're on the mound, right?
Absolutely.
Or when the lights are on. And why not train in that environment where it is like high pressure, high stakes?
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
We have teammates in here. We got guys that play against each other in here. So if you're looking over and you see, a guy trying to take your spot, you're going to work extra hard.
Or just like the alpha male of us all is like, as an athlete, we're just like, okay, if I'm training with, what do we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in here, 6 guys that are going to be training at the same time as me, I'm going to make sure to do everything in my power to freaking wear a tight shirt like I'm having right now. And work hard.
Yeah, I mean that's why we do have competition Fridays. We with our guys, everybody's on their own specific programs. Today's Friday. 11 o'clock. We have our speed day on Fridays.
Oh, is that where you guys like do the circle?
Yep.
That's dope. Yep. For the listeners who are listening into this that don't know what we're talking about, go to DJ's Instagram. He posted a really cool thing of what was that, the flag one, where you had like the flag in the
that was just the end game. But
that was
fun. It was fun.
Or the tennis balls. Trying to do the shuttle.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yep.
Looked fun.
Just competition Fridays, man.
Why not?
Why not?
I think that's important because like, look, we demand so much from ourselves when the lights are on and the stakes are high, but we don't really put ourselves in a practice position.
Really, Drake? Walking in front of Instagram Live?
I feel like if he wears shorts that are that short, he can do what he wants, right? Dude, we're doing a duel. I don't think no one would be listening at this time, especially on a Friday. If it was Saturday.
How many viewers do we got, Tanner? Hey,
3's more than 2.
Let's go. That's better than 0.
Dude. Heck yeah. You know what we should have done? We should have joined your account too. So y'all.
It's all right.
Next time, part 2.
It's all right.
Part 2. When are we gonna have a part 2?
Today.
This is part 2, 3, 4. I love that. Like everyone's like looking at us. Do you think everyone's mad at us that music can't be on? And
yeah, because 95% of the time the music's blaring really loud and guys are getting after it. Especially our pro group's starting to roll in right now.
Yeah,
an hour early.
Yeah. Is this normal time for them?
No, they're going to go throw today. So they're going to warm up.
Are we going to have to cut this short?
No, they're going to go throw at the field.
Okay.
So
if we do, no worries.
No, we're good.
All right, let's get back into it. That was like our break.
Yeah.
Our break in the action. So what is it like training baseball players? Why is it different training baseball players compared to like an everyday 9-to-5?
100% mentality.
Yeah.
Baseball has a different mentality than say the basketball player or the football player.
How does it differ?
Mentality-wise?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just used to it, right? You're in the clubhouse, dugout.
Especially in your
my background,
exactly.
Right? All of our coaches here played baseball at some point.
Tanner played baseball?
He did. Did play college football, but he played college football, but did not play college baseball. But he played baseball growing up. So
stud, man. Visor Friday.
Yeah. So, just the mentality of it and adapting to them, right? Mentally, how we can connect with them a little bit better, knowing what their culture is, knowing their language, their lingo, all that kind of stuff helps a lot. Knowing the deficiencies that they have, the unique demands of the baseball player. Yeah. Being such an asymmetrical sport, right? Yeah. On the training side, being really good at corrective exercises of baseball, right? Knowing what injuries we see in the baseball player, why that injury is there, being able to address those issues, address those injuries, fix those issues, and obviously crush weight with them. We want to destroy weight. We want to, in a proper way. 2 years ago, I was like, no, I'm not going to bench press a baseball player. Right. Now
that was like the common thing.
Now you see guys doing chain bench.
Well, even 10, 12 years ago, it was like, do baseball players need to lift?
Do they even lift weights?
Do we need to train?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now, fast forward 2018, and dudes are freaking pitchers too.
I mean, I was talking to Mitch, one of my guys with the Rockies yesterday. I was like, dude, all of you guys are so much bigger, right now than you were last offseason.
Well, then it's no accident that they're throwing harder.
Exactly.
And hitting balls further.
Like, I'm
no steroids.
I'm the smallest person in the gym, besides Tanner.
Yeah.
Smallest person in the gym, hands down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say you're the best looking?
Obviously.
Right.
Like, duh. Like, right? One of our guys that came in from out of town this last week came in and just gave all these guys a compliment how they're looking. You know, how much bigger they look.
Wait, these guys?
Yeah, even Max over there.
Even Drake?
He didn't say anything about Drake.
I wouldn't think so.
But just the compliment of him talking about how athletic they look, how big they look, you know, how good a shape they're in.
Right.
You know, that's a compliment to their hard work and just knowing how to do things right.
Well, and it's funny too because and I'm sure a lot of the common perception as far as like a baseball player goes is like once the off season hit, it's like oh, they just probably go on vacation and they just wait around for spring. Like, dude, we freaking that's when you get huge. Like that's when you can do.
They start a week after not even a week after they're back.
Well, because that's what the sport demands of them these days, right?
Yep.
Because the competition is so high, and it's always been high, but like right now, it's like you're throwing out 95 plus.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, we had a guy hit 98 in a flat ground the other day.
Yeah, a free agent.
Yeah, free agent doesn't have
free
a job.
Agent.
98.9.
Driveline posted another video of you probably saw it. Free agent 99.
Yeah.
And it's like think about that, dude.
Good luck getting jobs nowadays.
Like, no kidding. I'm sitting here as a free agent too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Unreal.
That's what has to be demanded of you though. Like, yes, because there's that fine line, right? Like, okay, what is too much?
Yep.
And then what is not enough? But that line over these past few years has like been shifting more towards like do more, man. Like you're not doing enough.
Yep.
Get off the couch.
And not get paid for it. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, dude.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is like if you're a seasoned big leaguer, like you don't have to maybe
worry about
your face
it.
off.
Yeah, we have two of those guys. We don't have to worry about they don't have to worry about money.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. You got training with Kevin Gossman.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's dive into the little rabbit hole. Why we talk? This is a common thing that gets brought up on my show. Is like why do we need to be specific when it comes to the differentiation of individuals to individuals?
It's the old SAID principle. It's just opposed demands, right? It depends on the guy, So I don't know. I could go big time here, why do I personalize my guys?
Yeah. Well, you understand the question though, right? Like, it's not so much as maybe someone perceives like, okay, here's a pitcher's workout.
Exactly.
It's
no,
a binder.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a open-ended question here because there's so many different variables, right?
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is, you have to do an intake assessment with us no matter what.
Yeah.
From that intake assessment, we determine a bunch of different factors.
What does that assessment look like?
So, to go off track here a little bit, the assessment, we're going to start on a table. We're going to look at rib cage.
But that's like determining deficiencies that go into your programming.
Look at infrasternal angle, which is where your sternum and your rib cage, the inferior border of your sternum. How your rib cage sets. Kind of look at how the scap is sitting on that rib cage.
And that varies for everybody?
Varies for everybody. Everybody's, has deviations, a deviated rib cage shows me your breathing patterns.
And deviated means what?
Altered.
Okay.
So
couldn't just say altered, huh?
Oh, sorry. Altered breathing patterns, right? So, guys need to get air in certain areas that guys, or that other guys don't, right? So guys have a shoulder lean like Drake, tilt this way. Where's Drake? Right over there. So he's, tilted. He walks in, like, what up, homie?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right?
Lean with it, rock with it.
Yep. So Coach Joe has that too.
Is it Visor Friday? That's a real thing. Wow. I don't think I've ever worn a visor.
So
I'm bald.
So we'll go from the table, look at hips, shoulders, internal, external rotation.
Right.
Look at flexion, abduction, do a Craig's test, do a Thomas test.
Right.
Look at thoracic mobility, look at joint stability, laxity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll go on the floor and do some dynamic stuff. Just some basic overhead squats, overhead lunges, exposing them to movement, From there, that's how we build that personalized program. The program's going to depend on if they need joint stability or joint mobility. If they need strength, if they need power, if they need, whatever they need, right? Guys have different needs. We have a 6'10" kid that is going to deadlift a different way than a 6-foot guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, learning their limb length, learning how they move, why they move that way.
Right.
Is them cheating in that movement actually making them throw harder?
Sure.
So not over fixing, overdoing it.
Sure.
Over cueing something, overhauling something completely.
Yeah.
Is going to be huge in the specificity of the program.
Sure.
So, everybody does our core lifts: reverse lunges, deadlifts, step ups,
your foundation.
RDLs, our foundational work. But where we get into, the sexy stuff is with their arm care patternings, their mobility, stabilities, whatever it may be.
Sure. Or even like with a guy like me, dude, it's like we stick with like those foundational lifts, but maybe the way that my body is and the way that I compensate, maybe I need to be doing those specific lifts a different way. Maybe I need to be focused on something else rather than if someone else,
exactly,
does it.
Well, your cues are going to be different
Exactly.
than my cues, right?
Yeah, and it's determining what those are.
Your feels are feel different than my cues.
100%.
So one athlete might need internal cues. One athlete might need external cues.
Right.
One athlete might need a single leg, exercise versus a bilateral exercise.
Right.
So it really varies on joint structure. God made everybody build different.
Right.
So
right.
We're all unique in different ways, and
right.
baseball's truly one of the only sports where that truly matters because it's such an asymmetrical sport, and there's so many issues and so many impingements and so many lower back strains and hip issues, knee issues, whatever it may be that we see repetitive. Right?
Yeah.
You can tell a lot of the time how the guy walks in, what he needs in his program, just from walking in.
Yeah.
Looking at his gait, looking at his static posture, looking at his arm extension and all that kind of stuff. So.
Right. DJ, that's going to conclude part 1 of this episode.
All right, guys, that'll do it for part 1 of this podcast. You will be on the lookout for part 2. It should be airing here in about 3 or 4 days. So with that being said, I'd appreciate any feedback on the specific episode. You can send me a DM or leave a review on iTunes just to give me the ability to get feedback on what you guys want to hear more of or what I should be doing better. But appreciate you guys' support. Love each and every one of you. And your boy's out. Later.